So, you've been promoted to manager. Now what? Today I'm going to break down your first 5 moves that you're going to want to try to follow as you step into this new role. So let's get into it. So why did I use the word moves? Make no mistake, it was a very conscious word choice. You want to think of this like a chess game. You want to be really strategic as you step into this new role. You want to be mindful and intentional, especially in that first week. And this is what we're going to be talking about, is just this first week. What kind of moves are you going to make that are really going to help you establish this new hierarchy and help your team also understand that there's been a power shift? Doing this intentionally and mindfully will help with mitigating that imposter syndrome, which is so prevalent. You don't want to ingrain any of that negative thinking in that first week, because you're going to be really susceptible to feeling inadequate or not sure or finding your feet. The first thing to consider is going to be your presentation. You want to make sure that whatever you're wearing, that it's clean, it's pressed, it's put together. You want to make sure your hair is neat. You really want to look the part and feel the part. So you want to look organized and put together and professional. One little tip is, if you always wear a sweater to work, then you can elevate that look by throwing on a blazer. You want to create a visual cue to your team that something has changed, that something is different. It's not the same old you with a fancy new title. Simply putting on a name tag, if you wear them in your industry, with the word manager under it, but everything else looks the same, that's going to be really confusing, and it's going to kind of feel like you just got a title slapped onto the old you. This is a great time to kind of reinvent yourself and really present yourself in this new, confident light. Now is the perfect time to establish that shift of power. Remember, this isn't just happening to you, this is happening to each and every single team member that is under you. So your job now is to help them navigate this change and this shift. By helping them, you're also helping yourself. And this is another great way to avoid that imposter syndrome. Your next move is going to be having one-on-one meetings with each and every employee. You want to take the time and sit down with them, and this also is going to reinforce that kind of power shift. And now you want to ask them, what do you like about your job? What do you find challenging about your job? Is there anything about your job that I can help you with? And you also want to know what their availability is. What do you prefer to work? Do you like full-time? Do you wish you could only work 4 days a week? You really want to understand your team, and remember, this is all about them. This is their time to speak, and by allowing them to speak about themselves, you're now also reinforcing that kind of power shift, where you're going to sit there and you're going to find out lots of information about them, and you're going to keep it really professional. It's going to be about the job. They might share and get a little more personal. This is where it's a great opportunity to really set those boundaries. You are there for them, right? The third move is a little more subtle, and this is going to be where you sit. So during these one-on-one meetings, your seat will probably have changed. You want to capitalize on that. Previously, you may have sat in seat A and your boss always sat in seat B, and that's how all the employees have always seen that power dynamic. Now you're going to be sitting in seat B, and this is more of the power seat. And so you want to really take up that space, own that seat, and really understand that that visual cue that you're giving to your team, again, is reinforcing that. Because the more you can reinforce that in the first week, that yes, things have changed, I can visually see them change, you look different, you're sitting different, that is really going to help this transition period, because that first week, I mean, you're making a first impression again, right? So you're coming in as the manager, and you only get one shot at a first impression. So that first week is really all about the visual cue. I mean, you got to follow this up with being an amazing manager in the weeks to come, but that first week is really just about getting everyone used to this idea that something has changed and something's different. Remember, you're really laying the groundwork for your success going forward. So the fourth move is a little more fun. This is where I just want you to give out compliments. I want you to be part of the team and be really effusive with your compliments. And if an opportunity comes up to coach them on something, then great. In the moment, coach them. That's a great opportunity, but don't go digging in the past. You want to be really careful that any feedback you give is just in the moment, really fun, really light, and follow it up with lots of compliments. You want to ease into this new position. You probably don't want all guns blazing right off the hop, especially if you have worked with these people. They are going to get their backs up real quick. That's also a way to shift that power dynamic, because now you're giving them lots of compliments. So you're giving them feedback. By doing it in a positive way, you're going to really pave that road once again. Don't devalue the impact that compliments can have on your new position. The fifth move is, again, just low-hanging fruit. You want to talk your employee in and out of position. So in an example of a restaurant. Say your employee shows up in the morning, you say good morning. When they're all ready and they're starting to walk past your office, you can get up and you can say, hey, let's have a look at where you're positioned today. You let them know what the expectation is for that position, and then you're physically walking them into their first position. Another really great opportunity to do this, walking them in and out of positions, is during their break time. So you could go to Bob and say, hey Bob, it's 9:30, it's time for your break. Hop off your station and I'll take over and you can go on your break now. By talking them in and out of position, it shows that you know what's going on. It shows that you're organized, you are aware of all of your team, and they're important to you, right? You're showing them that you care, that it matters, that they need their breaks, or that you see them arrive to work, or you're saying goodbye to them at the end of the day. It also creates that power shift, and that's what you're really looking for, is these opportunities to really set yourself apart. When you were just one of the coworkers, did you talk people in and out of position? No, right? So you're looking for these small opportunities, these small windows where you can have this kind of one-on-one conversation with them, talk them into their positions, sit them down, have a quick meeting, look a little different. So you're giving them visual cues, you're giving them physical cues as you're walking them into it, because now you're going to go back to the office and leave them at their position. And so all of this is really going to lay the groundwork to have the most successful first week in your new position. So congratulations on your promotion. You've got this, you can do it. And a little thing to remember is that if you have been promoted, that means that somebody saw something in you. They either saw potential or they saw that you had what it takes in your soft skill set to be a manager. It's easy to learn the hard skills. You can learn that. That's teachable. The behaviors, the tone of your voice, the way you react when somebody brings in bad news, that's all behavior stuff. And that can be and personality. And that can be really hard to teach or change. And so your soft skills are something that are probably more important than the hard skill set that you bring. That's also something really great to remember if you are looking to become a manager. It's not necessarily all the experience and hard skills you bring to that, it's how you would motivate them for success. You really want to sell your soft skill set, because that is the secret sauce to becoming that manager, and that's why so many of these moves are strategic. So if you come out of the gate with these 5 moves, you're gonna lay a super smooth transition for not only yourself, but also your team. So I wish you all the best. Congratulations again. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more of this, then hit that subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.